rematch of last year's final. Summit won 3-0 last year. Chatham would love to enact revenge here today.
And we are underway. The Cougars in their road blue trimmed with white, and Summit in their home white jerseys trimmed with maroon and gold. And in goal to our right is Nikita Primack, the junior goalie for the Hilltoppers with a 96% save percentage. And in goal to our left for the Cougars, Zach Pendergrast. Last year, 91% save percentage. This year at 92. He's given up only 16 goals the entire season. And the story with him, Dan, he was injured earlier this year. Since coming back on January 11th, he is 8-1-1 with a 0.91 goals against average.
And that follows suit of what this Chatham team is. They're 14-11-2 on the season, but in their last 11 games, the Cougars 9-1-1 and have allowed 1 goal or less in 10 of their last 11 games. You want to get to the promised land of the Prudential Center, don't allow any goals. That's a great recipe for success.
That shot whistles wide right past Primack as Chatham had the first big opportunity of the game. Cougars in the semifinals defeated Northern Highlands 2-1 in overtime. Matt Keene scoring the game-winning goal. And Summit all over Ramsey by the score of 8-1 as Greg Spitznagel had 2 goals in that semifinal game.
And Spitznagel had a great performance against Chatham last year here at the Rock, scoring twice in the 2018 final. You'd have to think that him and Tom Primack are going to be 2 of the focal points of that first line for the Hilltoppers of Summit.
That shot whistles in, and it's gloved about chest high there by Nikita Primack. Last year, 97% save percentage, gave up only 9 goals the entire season. And this year, he's given up just 3 goals in the playoffs. Again, he gloves it and holds on, so the faceoff will come to the left of Nikita Primack.
And for Primack, in this tournament, outstanding. 59 saves with only 3 goals allowed, as you've made mention to, Lou, and last year he shut out Chatham. 32 saves, no goals allowed in this 2018 final. And Summit is a team that is trying to repeat as the champions, and they've won 2 state championships in 2012 and 2018 and have really become a force in public school hockey in New Jersey. And they've played in Public B, Public A, and now they're in Public C.
And, you know, Dan, something's got to give here in this game. Chatham is one of the top defensive teams of the state. But Summit, as they have an offensive opportunity, but that pass goes astray. Summit has scored 113 goals this year. That's number 1 in New Jersey.
It's the contrast of styles here. Couple of opportunities for both teams presenting themselves in the early goings. And here's an opportunity for Chatham.
And the Cougars score as Chatham pokes it in, and they take an early 1-0 lead. Ryan Sordillo, no, actually it looks like number 20, Jack Diletto, who puts it home for the Cougars.
That was a bit of a surprise even to the goalie there as Diletto was going to that side. I just found a way to sneak it past Primack. And the Chatham faithful are raucous in celebration here. A team that doesn't need that many goals as they have been playing outstanding defensive hockey of late. They get out to the early 1-0 lead, something they were not able to even do against Primack here in the state finals last season.
And Pendergrast able to make that stop as Summit off the faceoff got a quick shot off. So the Cougars with a 1-0 lead.
And I think that would definitely qualify, especially with the caliber of the goalie in Primack for Summit. That's something that he would want back. That's a close-in shot that he would not want to surrender, and no real screener in front of him. And a great opportunity to jump out in front for Diletto and Chatham.
In case you're just joining us, in the Public B championship game, the Ridge Red Devils claimed the 2019 state title as they knocked off Randolph by the score of 4-1. So congratulations to Ridge for the tremendous third period to win that title.
Chatham, the 6 seed, such a dangerous 6 seed though. This is a team that had that experience of playing in the state final last year. They're a team that has won 2 state titles in program history, but they've just started to peak at the right time of the season. They've been getting healthier and healthier after a very slow start to the year.
This is the fourth final for the Cougars in their tremendous history. Here's the shot that goes wide, taken by Ryan Sordillo, and it comes on the near side. Summit trying to get this high-powered offense going. So far, the Cougars have kind of held them in check. This one bounces dangerously towards Nikita Primack, and he's able to glove it.
Sordillo did a fantastic job of getting a stick on that despite getting pounded into the ice from behind. Got and generated that deflection in front that caused Primack to make the stop in front.
Hilltoppers, the defending Public C champs, as Dan mentioned, defeating Chatham last year 3-0. This is Aiden Cass. Summit trying to get it out of their own end. Jake Pushkar finally able to push it ahead to Luke Radis. Radis, there's a backhand shot. Pendergrast knocks that away. Played in the corner there by Pushkar.
And it comes without a stick
to center ice, and an opportunity here for Chatham. And then taken down was Nate Marshall. Marshall came skating in, taken down from behind. And the penalty will go against Summit.
And if you want to qualify it as a good penalty, then you should, because that was going to be a clear breakaway opportunity for Marshall. Summit fortunate that a penalty shot was not deemed the correct call there. So it's going to be a two-minute man advantage on the power play for Chatham, and it is all Cougars in the early goings. And behind that play, it was interesting. Pendergrass lost his stick and was playing with one of his defensemen's stick. Not a concern as the break went the other way for the Cougars.
Justin Ross to the penalty box, and you're exactly right, Dan. I was waiting to see if they were going to call a penalty shot on that play, but they did not. Just rung them up for the 2-minute penalty. So it's a power play for the Cougars. They already lead 1-0. That shot whistles wide, taken by Ryan Sordillo, played by Nate Marshall in the corner. Here's another shot that is deflected in front. Trying to catch up to it, Greg Muller of Summit sends it on the near side. But Chatham unable to keep it in at the blue line.
And against most teams, 1 goal deficit is nothing. But against Chatham, it kind of feels like it's a multi-goal lead because of how well they play defensively. And this is a Chatham team averaging 2.2 goals a game this season. They're not known for their goal-scoring exploits, so they know how to nurse these small leads. A 2-0 lead here in the early goings would be huge.
Danny Mahoney sent it across, and then in front, Primack covers up. A little bit of extracurricular activity to the side of the net, but no harm, no foul.
And you come to expect that from these two teams that know each other very well. They probably compete against each other in other sports, as these are also 2 lacrosse powerhouse programs in New Jersey. And thinking back to last year's state final, and if you're a defenseman, you don't want anyone touching your goalie, especially after a whistle.
Here's Mahoney from the blue line, sends it over near side. Sharetta, and that pops off the stick of Declan Curry. But Chatham keeps it alive. Here's the shot in front, the rebound alive in front. As Primack got a piece of it, then that shot goes wide of the goal. It comes outside the zone, and Danny Mahoney has to go over and retreat.
Primack just had his 2 best saves of the game so far. That initial one, he stopped in a high slot, got a shoulder blade on it, and then also got a piece of the second follow-up shot. He's keeping this a 1-0 game.
Matt Keene in the corner for the Cougars. 15 seconds now left on the power play. Let's see if Chatham can get another shot or so off. It comes to the blue line. Mahoney cranks it up, blocked by Charlie Collins up top. Played there by Christian Ivancic. He has it on the far side, goes across the ice with the pass. Misses Mike Sharetta in front, and a wide open net, but Chatham could not take advantage. Matt Keene was all alone.
Just roofed that one. He was trying to hurry the shot as he saw how Primack was vacated that open net. Just got a little too much wood on it and underneath it and roofed it up and over the crossbar.
Marshall sends it in. Power play is over. So good job by Summit to kill off that power play opportunity for the Cougars.
Been really impressed in the early goings, Lou, with the offensive opportunities here for Chatham. Again, they don't look like a team that doesn't score that many goals.
Evan Schmidt with a crossing pass off the stick of Brian Null. So far, I think it's safe to say that Chatham has had the better of play.
This is a picture-perfect start for head coach Brendan Hurd, his fourth season. He's led Chatham to back-to-back state finals, and this is what you wanted to see, coming off that emotional victory in the semifinals against Northern Highlands, the defending champs.
Sordillo takes the shot, didn't get much on it, and Primack was able to cover up.
So Primack has done his job after surrendering that early goal here in the first. He stood tall in net, keeping Chatham at bay in that power play. And now you're going to have to hope that Summit, if you're offensively, you want to flip the script a bit. You want to get into the other end of the ice after Chatham has really tilted the ice here in the first.
Cougars have outshot the Hilltoppers 11-4 here in the early going.
For Summit, again, you're just weathering the storm. You're happy that you're getting out of that right now with only surrendering one goal despite the dominance in the early goings of Chatham.
Colin Pierce plays it for the Cougars, and not sure exactly what that call was, but it looks like it's going to look like it was a hand pass, but I have to be honest, I didn't see it.
As they'll bring that face-off back into the deep offensive end for Chatham after what we assume to be a hand pass call for Summit.
Played by the Cougars, Christian Ivancic takes the shot, and a stick save made by Primack. Up ahead, they try to feed it to Jake Pushkar. Pushkar gets to it in the corner. It comes back now. The Hilltoppers keep it in. That shot hits the pipe.
Sweet sounds of the iron there for the goalie, not for the shooter.
Primack trying to cover up, but the puck's still loose to the side of the goal. Comes back to the blue line. Mahoney backhands it. Intercepted by the Hilltoppers. Summit shovels it up ahead. Mahoney plays it at center ice, where it's played by Matt Keane. And now the Hilltoppers go back to play. And now Keane gets it back, takes a shot that goes wide, and Primack has to glove it.
I know you love, just like me, the flow of this game. It is end-to-end action, having great opportunities generated from point shots for Chatham on one side, and then leading to open opportunities down the other way in transition for Summit. They had their best opportunity clang off the post just a couple of moments ago. Chatham still a lot of force going right into the front of Nikita Primack, making it uncomfortable in net for him.
Greg Moeller sends it up ahead, and now an opportunity as Pendergrass makes the save. Nice play there by Tom Primack, who was able to get past two defenders. Primack looking for his 25th goal, and he had a big opportunity that time. Here's Primack again. He gets it back, skates around two defenders, loses the puck. Good job defensively by Colin Pierce to knock it away. Back the other way. It's Greg Muller who deflects that puck for Summit. Now in front, the Hilltoppers carry across the blue line, across center ice. Charlie Collins flips it ahead as he feeds it to Greg Spitznagel. Spitznagel, maybe his first touch of this first period.
Haven't really said his name all that often. And Tom Primack, he's the engine of this offense for Summit. Got to get him going and get more goal-scoring opportunities for the man on the puck now.
Primack, here's the shot, score!
Spitznagel, he bedeviled Chatham in this game last season, and he starts fast here with another goal. And what about that top line, Lou, of Primack, Spitznagel, and it looked like Charlie Collins really paying dividends there.
Greg Spitznagel is 25th goal of the season, and he ties the game at 1. And you know, if you're Brendan Hurd, you're thinking, we've dominated this first period, we've outshot Summit 13-6, and yet we really don't have anything to show for it, as we're all tied at 1.
Spitznagel, his 7th goal of the state tournament run to go along with his 3 assists. 25 goals, leads the team now after he was tied with 24 goals apiece with Primack, his teammate, coming into this state final. And it's just the blink of an eye. It's the play made by Primack to set up Spitznagel in front, and he just beat it past Pendergrass, and we are deadlocked at 1.
David Stravely almost able to poke that away for Summit at center ice. Hilltoppers settling down here after a tough start, after Chatham got that early goal and really dominated the first 10 minutes of this period. So all tied at 1 in the corner. Good check delivered by Evan Schmidt. Puck loose in front, and now Summit comes back the other way. They have a 3-on-2 if they hurry, but it's sent all the way down the ice and sticked aside by Zach Pendergrast. And
just shooting aplenty. It was a shooting gallery, as you saw the discrepancy, and just in the blink of an eye the other way, the big line striking for Summit, the defending champs nodding the score 1-1.
Face-off controlled by the Cougars. Lift it on the near board side. Nick Meyer getting over there for Chatham, but then Summit intercepts. That shot sent towards the goal. And Pendergrass able to stick it aside. 3 minutes, 37 seconds remaining first period. And Chatham and Summit are tied at 1 here in this Public C Championship game.
And it's a huge goal, not only just to tie the game 1-1 in the first period, so there's no concern whatsoever for Coach Keith Nixon and Summit, but it's that air of invincibility, that defensive prowess of Chatham. They're not used to surrendering goals, certainly more than 1 goal. As I made mention, they allowed 1 goal in 10 of their last 11 games. That's been their recipe for success here in this late rush to the state final in the season. How does Summit continue to generate that offense and that confidence against this defensive-laden team?
Backhand shot went off the side of the goal. Nice opportunity there by the Cougars, and then it's gloved by Primack. Mike Sharetta was able to skate in. Sharetta with 10 goals, 7 assists on the year for Chatham.
Nikita Primack really hasn't been in goal all that often this season, as Grant McCormack, the freshman, has been doing the load of the work for Summit this season. But Primack, when he's back in net, has been sensational. 20 saves, 1 goal allowed against Ramsey in the semis. As we made mentioned, he was the shutout victor last year in this game against Chatham. He's one of the stellar goalies in all of New Jersey.
Spencer Myers plays it to Primack. Then in front, Charlie Collins gets to the loose puck for the Hilltoppers. Sent back in by the Cougars. Nikita Primack sticks it aside, feeds his teammate, and Hilltoppers look to get it out of their own zone. But Chatham doing a nice job. Now a good pass right onto the stick of Spitznagel. Takes the shot, gets it back, and scores! Greg Spitznagel off the rebound, pokes it in, up over the shoulder of Pendergrast, and Summit takes a 2-1 lead.
What a goal scorer Greg Spitznagel is. He had the first opportunity, kind of fanned on it, recollected it, and then roofed it up over the shoulder of Pendergrast. That is a goal scorer's goal in a broken down play. The celebration is excellent as well, shooting the arrow to the sun. And Summit with Greg Spitznagel, 2 unanswered goals. Once again, 2 goals where it matters most in the state final. And now the Hilltoppers have the lead for the first time here this afternoon in the Public C Championship.
Spitznagel with 2 goals in the game. Goals 25 and 26 on the season.
8 goals now, Lou, for Spitznagel in the tournament to go along with his 3 assists. He is that focal point, while Tom Primack is the leading point scorer for this team. Spitznagel, he's the sniper, the leading goal scorer.
And Chatham poking at it in front of Nikita Primack, trying to get the game-tying goal, but Primack able to hang on. Minute 46 remaining in the in the first, and Summit has a 2-1 lead. Chatham had the early lead. They got that quick goal early on, led it 1-0, and really dominated the early portion of this period.
It's amazing how you can lose momentum so quickly in a hockey game, and that's what's happened in Chatham. They were all over Summit in the early goings, out shooting them, out pacing them, out hustling them, and Spitznagel has turned the game completely over.
Luke Geese has it knocked away from him. Now Chatham skates out with it. Cougars have a 3-on-2. Up ahead comes Sharetta. Sharetta trying to feed it in front to Brian Dahl, who was camped out in front of the goal. And the puck goes all the way around the boards and all the way down the ice. Played by Summit and kept alive with 1:15 remaining in the first. It comes over to Brandon Loopy of Chatham, but kept in by Aiden Cass. That puck goes just wide of the goal. The rebound goes through the crease, taken by Chris McGovern.
Now, if you're Chatham, you just got to get out of this period, not surrendering anymore. You've now allowed 2 goals, which is unlike you. And you've lost momentum in the game. Summit is rolling right now. You cannot afford to take your chances and surrender anything more. Make your adjustments, regroup in the locker room after the first period. But 2-1, it was all Chatham early. It's now all Summit at the tail end of this first period.
Think about what has happened. Summit has scored 2 goals in this first period. And Pendergrass coming in since January 11th. We read you that stat earlier. 0.91 goals against average. So he already has given up 2 here in this first period.
There's something about that Chatham uniform for Spitznagel that he is loving, because he is just having huge performances against the Cougars.
Charlie Collins skates around the goal, flips it all the way back outside. Good passing here by Summit. That one goes off the side of the net. They get a shot off, but it's deflected, and here comes Chatham. 35 seconds left of the period. Nate Marshall skates up. Marshall leaves a drop pass, but it's intercepted by the Hilltoppers and played at center ice by Spitznagel. Spitznagel trying to split 2 defenders, but Chatham would have none of that.
And in that last possession, didn't it seem like for Summit, Lou, that they were almost like on a man advantage? They were on the power play with their spacing, the passing, the confidence. This is a team that is inspired right now by the play of Spitznagel.
Danny Mahoney flips it ahead. And with the final 2 seconds of the period, that will do it. So Chatham gets off to a brilliant start. The Cougars score early. They led it 1-0, but then Spitznagel with 2 goals gives Summit a 2-1 lead. Cougars outshot the Hilltoppers 15-9, but they trail on the scoreboard as the Hilltoppers head into period 2, up 2-1.
first goal, the second one was a thing of beauty. And now it's going to be a case of Chatham. You're a defensive team that doesn't generate that much offensively. How do you get that second goal? That second goal was so key, and also to make sure that it's not a 3-1 deficit. That next goal in the game, as we're always stressing, is the huge one. A 2-2 game, completely different from if high-scoring Summit makes it 3-1.
This Hilltopper team, explosive offensively. Here's a shot that is kicked away by Zach Pendergrast. Nice kicks by Pendergrast. Summit able to get another good shot off. Summit averaging 4.65 goals per game. They have scored 33 goals in their last 6 games coming into this one. It's a team that puts up a lot of big offensive numbers.
And Spitznagel is the boogeyman if you're Chatham. He has scored 4 goals now in 2 games in the state finals against Chatham. He is someone you have to match up with. He is just so strong in front and devastating. 26 goals leading Summit on the season.
At the blue line, Hilltoppers able to keep it in, but then it's banged out by the Cougars to center ice. And played by Chatham there, Brandon Loopy gets to it and flips it back behind the Summit goal. Just underway, second period here at the Rock. Second of 4 state championship games here today. Hillsborough and Morris Knowles will play for the Public A state title. And then the big one in non-public as Bosco and Del Barton vie for the state championship.
You see a couple of great hits administered by Chatham to begin this second period. They are really cleaning up in front, trying to make life very difficult for Summit, where by the end of that first period, very, very comfortable on offense. As I made mention, it almost seems like at points they were on a power play when it was still 5-on-5 hockey. Summit doesn't operate that way defensively. They want to make things very tough.
Mike Sharetta trying to center in front, and Brian Nall was right there, got a good shot off. Nikita Primack, that might be his best save of the game.
Best save by far. That was a bang-bang play on the one-timer, and he's making amends after giving up what he probably would classify as a soft goal early on that got DeLetto and Chatham on the board in a 1-0 lead. He's been sharp since that point.
Just a little over a minute and a half gone by second period. 2-1 in favor of Summit. Again, the Hilltoppers trying to clear it out. And Nikita Primack covers up.
And Chatham continue this aggressive play. Continue getting pucks on the net. You never know with the weird carom, rather than just passing it around. You want as many shots as possible. You have 17 generated already in this game. You just hope that you can solve Primack again as you did early on in the first. It's the mental side of it as well, seeing that last year he shut them out and had the 32 save performance. You just want to keep on getting pucks in front.
Quick shot taken there by Remy Vidal as it goes wide of the goal. Almost a giveaway by the Cougars. Now Chatham skates out across the blue line. Up ahead, Evan Schmidt. Schmidt feeds in front, and Primack covers up. Chatham playing in their 4th final in their illustrious history. As we said, their 2nd straight after losing to Summit last year. They have won 2 championships. Both of those championships came against the same team, Morristown, in 2011 and 2013. Great rivals, the Colonials and the Cougars, both in the Menin division.
See one Menin division team in Randolph losing earlier today. Morris Knowles will be another great representation from that illustrious conference here at the Prudential Center.
Pendergrass making another brilliant save, and then a big dump at center ice. Chatham was looking for a penalty, none forthcoming.
Things starting to get physical between the boys here on both sides.
This is banged to the side of the goal, played by Primack. And not sure what that call was. I guess it was offside, but
they're moving it down to the other end. Yeah, they weren't really clear in terms of what they deemed the violation, but it will send the faceoff down in front of Pendergrass and the defensive end for Chatham.
Taking the faceoff, Tom Primack for Summit. Primack trying to dig it out behind the goal, and also there Brian Nall of Chatham. Cougars unable to get it out. Now they finally bang it up over the Summit bench and out of play.
Tom Primack is the leading point scorer for this Summit team, coming into this one 53 points on the year, and for his career, 6th all-time in Summit program history with 118 career points. You could see why. He even had a performance in one game this year, Lou. 7 assists against Scotch Plains Fanwood. What an outstanding centerman. And somebody that was a part of getting Spitznagel and Summit on the board as well. Primack, he's a facilitator in addition to being a goal scorer.
This banged deep into the Chatham zone, and icing to call.
So the accuracy of Summit so far, only 10 shots so far in the game and 2 goals on 10 shots. Really surprised, certainly going against the goalie, the caliber of Zach Pendergrast. Chatham, keep on shooting. 18 is not enough. 18 is not going to win you this game. Here's one more chance.
Spinning around was Evan Schmidt off that faceoff. Then another shot is right on goal as well, as Primack has to make that save.
2 more shots on goal in this possession. You saw that big carom off the rebound on the save by Primack on the second.
Back outside, Danny Mahoney sends it towards the goal. And the Cougars still able to keep it in. Mahoney with a nice play was able to slap it back in.
That was a great shift for Chatham. That was all hustle. That was generating more offensive opportunities. That's getting back to the play that they had in the first period.
Now Cougars pass in front. The shot saved by Primack as he got a piece of it. Ryan Sordillo trying a backhand, and Primack was able to get his stick on it.
It was a great line change, bad change there for Summit. Led to the 2-on-1, and Sordillo was robbed trying to go backhands up high. Primack reading that, anticipating it all the way.
That pass went right through the crease. Comes back the other side. Summit trying to set it up in front. And getting to the loose puck, Charlie Collins, who flips it back behind the goal. Now it comes all the way to center ice. And the puck flipped up into the crowd and out of play.
Nice little souvenir for someone here at the Prudential Center, as we've had great crowds so far. This is the second of our 4 games today. Not only the student sections coming out in droves supporting their classmates, but great group of high school hockey fans coming out, braving the weather after having a big snowfall here in the northern part of New Jersey.
Aiden Cass plays it for Summit. Sends it to center ice. Now Chatham intercepts across the blue line, and that shot deflected as Mike Sharetta teed it up. Comes back outside where it's played in front, and Brandon Loopy was trying to send one home. Still kept alive by Chatham as they keep it in. They have outshot Summit 22-10 in the game.
And they've been winning the battles for the loose pucks at the blue line as well, keeping extra possessions alive.
But they trail 2-1 with 9.5 remaining here in the second period. To center ice, it skips over the stick of Christian Ivancic, and then taking the shot was Strabley, but it's deflected off of a Cougar in front.
Nick Meyer did a good job of the recovery defense, but it looks like a hooking call is going to be coming up. And another opportunity looks for Summit to go on the power play.
And this goes against Ivancic as he heads towards the penalty box. So Summit a huge opportunity here to lengthen their lead. They're already up 2-1. And a faceoff will come to the left of Zach Pendergrast. Played at the blue line. Shot deflected. Chatham giving up their body here in this second period. They're sliding all over the ice to block shots. In front, shorthanded opportunity.
Oh, what a save by Primack. Full extension there and another bang-bang play. Chatham just can't convert. Shorthanded.
Primack with a sprawling, diving stop of Nate Marshall, who tried to go with that backhand shot in. It comes back behind the goal, and whistle stops play.
Primack's in that zone that he was in last year, Lou, in that state final where he shut out Chatham in the 3-0 victory. Since giving up that little softer goal in the first period, he has been robbing Chatham on the power play. Now with the penalty kill. And that time, bang-bang plays, going and robbing in the backhand Sordillo. And that last opportunity, robbing Marshall in front.
Evan Schmidt digs it out for the Cougars, but then it's played by Charlie Collins of Summit. Collins gets it back and flips it up to center ice. That pass, though, misses its target, but a good job by Luke Redis to play it there for the Hilltoppers. In the corner, Remy Vidal trying to get there, cannot. Chatham able to clear it out of the zone.
Great job on this penalty kill so far for Chatham. They've actually generated more of the offensive opportunities than even Summit has on their man advantage.
At the blue line, offside called on Summit as Strabley was just ahead of the play. 8:05 remaining in the second period. Summit with a 2-1 lead in this New Jersey Public Sea Championship game.
And even right before this power play for Summit, isn't this kind of representative of what this game has been about? It's been the hard-nosed play of Chatham, but then Summit, in the blink of an eye, going the other way, making the most of their opportunities.
Strabley steals, now carries into the corner, flips it behind the goal to Jordan Lowry. It comes back outside. Summit plays it at the blue line. Greg Muller flips it back over to Primack. Time Primack. Here's the shot in front and almost knocked in by one of the Cougars as Chatham got their stick on it in front of the goal. It comes back outside. Here's another shot that whistles wide, taken from the blue line by Greg Muller. Muller gets it back, dishes over to Primack, and Chatham clears it all the way down the ice.
Good anticipation there by Chatham. It looked like Nate Marshall reading the eyes, and they were trying to feed on top of the high crease, intercepting what would have been a bang-bang opportunity in front of Pendergrass.
So the Cougars kill off the penalty. Good job by Chatham on that penalty kill. Now up ahead onto the stick of Sharetta. Sharetta puts the brakes on, takes the shot, a kick save by Primack.
Again, Primack's in that zone. You have to get someone in front to disrupt his line of vision. He is seeing everything right now. Another great save on that shot by Sharetta.
Chatham, possession. It comes back up top to Sharetta. Sharetta across the blue line. He waits for his teammates to get onside, then rips one up over the crossbar.
He had a 3-on-1, Lou, but decided to stay with the puck and miss that shot high.
Up ahead, here's Charlie Collins, who fans on the shot as he was breaking in on Pendergrass.
Great recovery check behind by Sordillo.
And a glove save made by Primack at the other end.
Correction, that was Danny Mahoney, Lou, that it looked like it was off to the races the other way for Summit on the breakaway. But it was the recovery speed of Danny Mahoney who had the stick check, forcing that shot to go wide and preventing it from being a 3-1 Summit lead with 6:22 left to go in the second.
And Mahoney, one of the top defensemen in the state of New Jersey. He showed you why on that play.
And doing it cleanly, too. Like, not being the one to commit a penalty, because that could be another situation that the referee deems that to be worthy of a penalty shot rather than a power play. Great stick work by Mahoney, who has it now.
And he takes the shot that's deflected in front. Primack lost it momentarily. And another one, he gets his glove on it this time, Primack. Cougars are unleashing here with shots. Here's another shot opportunity, perhaps. Knocked away, though, by Charlie Collins on the far side for Summit. And a shot that's gloved right into the chest as Primack makes the play.
I'm loving the aggression right now, Lou, of Chatham offensively. Getting shots in front, getting shots from the point, digging it out for possession in the corners, fighting for those loose pucks. That's what got them that 1-goal lead. And don't worry about Primack. He's been a brick wall right now, but something's going to break if you keep on generating those offensive opportunities.
Poked away by the Hilltoppers. Summit skates in, and behind the goal, you're going to have a penalty here. It's a delayed call against Chatham. Looks like a hold, and that'll send the Cougars to the penalty box.
Once again, it's the Summit speed that's wreaking havoc on Chatham and their defensive unit. The transitional hockey that Summit has shown, from getting it out of their own end, bringing it into the other end, Chatham a little flat-footed there, and that time they were forced to make the hooking call to slow down as the puck even caromed out in front. If there was another Summit player in trail, they might have put that one home as Pendergrass was caught out of his net.
Ryan Sordillo to the penalty box for the Cougars. So Summit, another opportunity to extend that lead. This is Mahoney, sends it back into the Summit zone. 5 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the second period. The Hilltoppers with a 2-1 lead. Tom Primack ridden off the puck by two Cougar defenders at the blue line. And Summit takes it behind the goal, flips it on the near side. Comes outside to Pushkar. Here's a long shot taken by Greg Muller. And you have a Chatham player shaken up on the play. That was Colin Pierce. Looked like he took a direct hit with that puck. And another block by the Cougars.
Great job by Nate Marshall there, sacrificing the body. And even sprawling out behind the net.
Chatham continues to dive all over the ice, and then the shot is put in.
It looks like it could be Tom Primack with a power play goal, and what a crushing one for Chatham. They have been so valiant in defensively sacrificing their bodies with the block shots, and that was a force-fed pass that caromed out to the far wing, and it was Tom Primack, the quarterback of this offense in the power play unit. Johnny on the spot on the far side. 3 unanswered goals for this high-scoring Summit side. And that is a back-breaking goal here, Lou, with 4:38 left to go in the second. Now Summit on top, 3-1.
Hilltoppers have been outshot 27-11, yet they lead the game 3-1.
That's making the most out of your offensive opportunities. Talk about accuracy, 3-1, 3 goals on 11 shots. Power play goals are always so big in terms of a momentum and garnering that in the course of a game. The penalty kill worked wonders for Chatham in the first opportunity, but now Summit striking on their second man advantage. And again, just when it looked like Chatham was so close to evening the score at 2-2, it was this stellar play of Primack keeping it a 1-goal lead, and eventually the man advantage proved deadly for Summit on the other end.
Nick Meyer winds up from the blue line. It's deflected. Now taken by the Cougars at center ice, Ryan Sordillo.
What a jarring hit delivered there by Summit.
Spencer Myers on that check on the near side boards. Played by Luke Redis of Summit. And Myers goes back to retrieve it at center ice, dumps it back into the Chatham zone. 3 minutes, 45 seconds remaining, second period. And the Hilltoppers of Summit with a 3-1 lead.
They produced the 3 goals in the 3-0 win in last year's state final win against Chatham. They now have 3 goals here.
Quinn Kelly sends it in for Chatham. Cougars still play it behind the goal. Comes back outside, Kelly. Kelly winds up and delivers one wide. Kept in by Mahoney at the blue line, and a hand pass is called, I believe, or no.
Might be a slashing call.
Slashing penalty.
Chatham not helping themselves out here. They've been in the penalty box now for the 3rd time in this period, and you can't do that in the stage of this game. You're down 3-1. 3:15 left to go in the second. Momentum is on Summit's side. You know right now, Lou, this is a Chatham side that is kind of shell-shocked. They're not used to surrendering this many goals, certainly in this stage of the season. And a 4th goal could be a back-breaking goal here in this stage of the game.
Now, Nate Marshall is called for the penalty. So with 3:15 remaining in the second period, it's a 2-minute power play here for the Hilltoppers. The call officially is interference. The Hilltoppers set up behind the goal. Charlie Collins delivers up ahead off of the stick of Pushkar, and Collins has to go back and retreat for Summit.
Huge opportunity for the penalty kill unit of Chatham to really pick their teammates up and garner that momentum that they need, that momentum that they earned early on in the first period on their way to an early 1-0 lead.
Greg Spitznagel pinned in on the far side. Spitznagel with the puck. Comes across to Collins. Collins takes the shot and scores!
Again, back-to-back backbreakers on the power play unit as Summit finds gold. Up top now, it's Charlie Collins. And that first line has been potent here today. Tom Primack, Greg Spitznagel, Charlie Collins, all accounting for the 4 combined goals for Summit. And Lou, 4 goals on 13 shots. You have to wonder if your coach, Brendan Herr, despite having an outstanding goalie in Zach Pendergrass, do you think about maybe changing things up a bit as his goalie has not been able to slow Summit down, and this game is starting to get away from Chatham at 4-1.
Charlie Collins, his 17th goal of the season. And the Hilltoppers have built up a 3-goal advantage. They're up 4-1 with 2:05 remaining here in the second period. Still plenty of time, but Chatham not a high-scoring offensive team. So this will be quite a challenge for them to try to come back.
And in looking at the similarities as Summit tries to stuff that one in front again, between this game and our first game of the day, that Ridge defeated Randolph. Randolph scored first, and then was 4 unanswered by Ridge. In this game, Chatham scoring first, 4 unanswered for Summit, as that one looked like it might have caromed off the post and into the netting.
And some words being exchanged between the Cougars and Hilltoppers.
And certainly frustration is going to set in if you're Chatham, as you've seen a hot goalie get red hot on the other end, really start to stonewall you, and you're presenting opportunities, but then Summit just cashes in offensively in the limited opportunities they've been granted. Still plenty of time in this game if you're Chatham to come back, but you have to stay out of the penalty box. You've seen that, 2 straight goals in the power play for Summit.
Here's Collins, winds up, and the shot is blocked. He gets it back. 1:25 left in the second. Summit in command. They're up 4-1, despite being outshot 28-14.
What about this program that Keith Nixon has created at Summit? 25th season at the helm. 2012 New Jersey Coach of the Year, state titles in 2012 and 2018. And he has his team in a position here to go back-to-back as state champions and really solidify themselves as one of the better teams in all of New Jersey, public school or non-public school.
Won that title last year over Chatham. That 2012 championship was against Tenafly as they knocked off the Tigers in overtime that year.
And continuing a trend for Summit. When they've won a state championship, they've garnered at least 20 wins in a season. 24-2-2 last year. 24-4-2 in 2012. A win here today would be win number 20.
Pendergrass made the initial save, but then Remy Vidal flips it in off the rebound.
Summit, the offensive juggernaut, really just coming to life here in the second period, a period they have dominated. Again, the initial save was made by Pendergrass, but then the follow-up, no back check there. And all by his lonesome was Remy Vidal, the senior, with his 5th goal of the season. And it is all Summit, 5-1, as the defending champs really showing their acumen offensively with just under 25 seconds left to go in the period.
5 goals on 16 shots.
That's just sharpshooting. And that was hustle there after the initial nice save was made by Pendergrass. And you have to wonder how tired Chatham might be because they've been in their own defensive end for the majority of this period.
It's been 5 unanswered scores for the Hilltoppers, and the Summit fans on their feet. Their team will head to the third and final period up 5-1 here in this Public Sea Championship game. We played 2 here at the Prudential Center. All Hilltoppers. Summit 5, Chatham 1. Back at the Prudential Center as we get ready for period 3 in this 2019 Public C Championship game here on NJ.com, powered by Local Live. Glad you could join us for the second of 4 championship games today. Lou Brogno along with Dan Long, all Summit in that second period. The Hilltoppers just dominating. Even though Chatham's outshot the Summit Hilltoppers 28-16, Summit has a 4-goal advantage.
5 consecutive goals for the Hilltoppers dating back to that first goal by Greg Spitznagel in the first period. And how does Chatham come out here to begin this third period? Are they going to be really physical and over-aggressive and maybe get into the penalty box again? Or are they going to still try to get those shot opportunities on net against Primack, who has been brilliant? He was brilliant last year in the shutout victory, 32 saves. Looks like he's going to be on his way to surpassing that save total here in this state final.
Danny Mahoney intercepts for Chatham, and then the Hilltoppers bring it back in, but offside is the call. Faceoff will come outside the zone. We're just underway here in the third period. Summit looking for their 20th win of the season and their 3rd state championship.
And on display here are 2 really solid teams, just doing what they do best. And it's not a condemnation of Chatham. It's just the skill set is so high for the scorers here on Summit, and that's been the difference in scoring 5 times with 17 total shots in the game.
Primack knocked down on the far side, played by Charlie Collins, who flips it back into the Chatham zone. Cougars skate out with it. Up ahead is Colin Pierce. And then Nikita Primack is able to stick it aside. Played here by the Cougars in the corner. Summit gets to it, though. Tom Primack skates up across the blue line and dumps it in. 13 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in the third period. Summit up 5-1. Trying to close in on a state championship. It would be back-to-back titles for the Hilltoppers.
And they have certainly created something really special, and they can thank the Primack family for that, too, as Tom Primack has been outstanding offensively in his illustrious career, and Nikita Primack, the senior netminder, he's going to be a legendary figure in Summit hockey. No goalie in Summit hockey history can say that they've won 2 state championships.
Knocked away by the Cougars. Summit goes back to retrieve it in the corner. Chris McGovern. Now this pass up ahead to Tom Primack. Primack takes it into the corner where he's ridden there by Mahoney. Mahoney, as we said, just such a tough defender. Primack pokes at it. That was actually Luke Radice who poked at it.
Nice job there of the defense for Chatham, standing up tall and making sure that that did not allow another Summit attempt in tight on Pendergrast.
Chatham plays behind the goal. Vidal with a goal for Summit, able to flip it up ahead. Crowd very quiet here now at the Prudential Center, as the Summit fans are kind of relaxed with a 5-1 lead, and the Chatham fans are kind of perplexed that their team is down by 4.
And what about this playoff season for Summit? 8-1 victory over Kinnelon in the round of 16. 5-1 over Middletown North in the quarters. 8-1 over Ramsey in the semifinals, and right now leading 5-1 over a very good Chatham side here in the state finals. This has been dominance all across the board for the Hilltoppers. And they're the 4 seed. They weren't even the top seed when it was seeded. Indian Hills was the top seed, and they were upended by Ramsey. But this is just absolutely an offensive explosion against great competition here in Public C.
Dumped in by Greg Muller. 11 minutes and 15 seconds remaining here in the third. Chatham desperately trying to get something going. Intercepted by Collins, who shoots it towards the goal. And then it goes off a Pendergrast stick.
Good work along the boards there by Chatham.
Collins takes another shot, trying to feed Primack in front. Primack was just camped out there in front of the crease.
And this is the second year of existence of the Public C tournament in New Jersey high school hockey, and it looks like Summit, unless we have a big change of events here, is going to win the first two championships at the Public C level. 3 state finals for the public schools, 1 for the non-public, which will be our final matchup of the evening versus the top 2 teams in New Jersey.
Greg Spitznagel with a nice pass there. He backhanded that pass in front. Now Cougars skating in 1-on-3, though, no chance, as Summit got back there defensively. And it comes back out to center ice. Spitznagel carries in. Spitznagel puts the brakes on. He fires, and it just is stopped by Pendergrass. I think he just got enough of it to deflect it.
What a move by Spitznagel, dragging that one back. There's another opportunity for Summit and another save by Pendergrass.
And then Radice takes the shot. Puck still loose in front. Summit just firing away right here. It comes back out to Aiden Cass, and finally the Cougars come out of their own end with the puck. Now it's taken away. Back, this is Pushkar in front. Jake Pushkar still with the puck. Goes cross ice to Spencer Myers. Myers carries behind the goal. Myers leaves a drop pass, but nobody home on the receiving end. And it comes back to center ice. Myers is there for the Hilltoppers, and he flips it into the Chatham end.
If possible, Lou, it looks like Summit's even faster now in this game compared to what they were in the first 2 periods of play. It might be a case of tired legs on the other side for Chatham. But Summit is just a step or 2 quicker than Chatham, generating the opportunities that really weren't around through the first 2 periods of play. And it just shows you how dangerous Summit is in the offensive end of the rink.
9 minutes and 13 seconds remaining here in this third period. Chatham flips it in towards their own goal, and then taking the shot was Vidal. He was hit just as he unleashed that shot. He gets it back, shoots it again, zips through the crease, just wide of the goal. At the other end, taken away by Nate Marshall, who crashes into the goal and smashes into Nikita Primack, the Summit goalkeeper.
All the action has been on the other side of the rink for the majority of this third period. Marshall trying to change things up as he was sprinting down the other way and even knocked into Primack. Just trying to be that spark for Chatham, get their second goal. And every time that Spitznagel is on the ice, you know that in the back of his mind, he's thinking about garnering the hat trick here in the state final. Talk about coming up big when it matters the most.
Summit trying to clear it. Primack makes the stop. And more pushing and shoving. And now the team's getting into it a little bit. Finally, the officials get over there to restore order.
And if you're Summit, you have to also be thinking, keep your composure. This game is well in hand, 5-1, 8:36 left to go. You don't want something that's going to mar your celebration, mar the opportunity to celebrate in front of your family and friends. And stay out of the penalty box, too, because maybe a power play opportunity will get Chatham back going here and gain a little more momentum in this one. As Primack has everything completely under control, you don't want another player doing something to change that.
Off the face-off, Cougars control. That shot goes towards the goal, and Primack makes the save.
Now 1 save shy of matching his save total from a season ago, and it looks like we're going to have a penalty here, Lou.
And this could be against Summit. Yeah, this will give Chatham a power play opportunity. Let's see if they can take advantage of it. This is just what the doctor ordered if you're the Cougars. Into the penalty box goes Spencer Myers, the junior defenseman.
Tripping is the call, and here's that opportunity. If you're going to make a comeback here, if you're Chatham, you got to score on this power play.
Mahoney takes the shot, whistles that one up high. A rocket shot up over the crossbar, bounces off the glass, And Danny Mahoney gets it back, sends it in front. Puck is still loose, and then sent out of the zone.
It's a good idea there, trying to jam the net. But it looks like it's going to be a penalty. So much for that power play advantage for Chatham. After they get called for a penalty in the offensive zone. That's another frustration penalty, as it looks like it was a slash in front.
Jack Deletto into the penalty box for the Cougars. So the faceoff will come down on the Chatham end. And now the two teams will be at even strength for the next minute 38.
Four skaters aside for both sides, and that just means more open ice for these Summit skaters to skate with.
There was a slashing penalty against Deletto. Chatham carries in. There's the shot, and Primack makes the save. Well, a brilliant move for the Cougars. Skating all the way in was Mike Sciaretta.
That was a great charge up the ice, and as soon as I say it's open, more open ice for Summit, Sciaretta trying to prove to me, hey, it's more open ice for us as well, as he was trying to get his second goal of this state tournament.
Deflected in front, shot, score! So it is Sciaretta who puts it home, and he draws the Cougars to within 3. It's now 5-2.
Initially denied there before the faceoff, will not be denied a second time as he lurked on that near side post. Initially, the deflection came over to his side, and he powered it right past Nikita Primack. And now a little sense of life for Chatham. They still have a lot to go up here as they're trailing by 3 goals, but a much-deserved goal there for Sciaretta. He was so close moments ago.
At the blue line, played by the Cougars, and they bring it back across center ice. And skating in is Sordillo. Sordillo circles around, brings it back out, and a long shot for the blue line is gloved easily by Nikita Primack.
34 shots in this game for Chatham. Not all of them the high quality in variety, but certainly getting and testing Primack early and often in this game.
7 minutes, 10 seconds remaining in the third. Summit still in command. Hilltoppers up by 3. That shot deflected, taken from the blue line by Matt White. Tom Primack pokes at it and sends it up ahead where it's played by Spitznagel. Spitznagel takes a tough angle shot that is stopped by Pendergrast.
Again, Spitznagel, player looking for what could be a hat trick here in the state final.
Primack takes that shot that goes wide. That's a tough duo there, right? Spitznagel and Primack.
You could see why they are so prolific in their scoring this season. Primack with 53 points, Spitznagel with 42 coming into today's game.
Justin Russ for the Hilltoppers trying to clear it, but could not, as Nick Meyer got there first for the Cougars. And the puck banged up over the Hilltoppers bench. Clock stops. 6 minutes, 16 seconds remaining in the third period. And Summit has a 15-second power play to work with, and they lead at 5-2.
Chatham definitely looked the more comfortable team in the 4-on-4 opportunities, certainly scoring there, courtesy of Sciaretta. Now they're going to be trying to kill off the remainder of this penalty. And flukier things have happened here, Lou, certainly in the history of high school hockey in New Jersey. But another goal for Chatham, if they can get that relatively soon, then you're thinking this is a legitimate opportunity here for the Cougars. They're down by 3 right now, but they're hustling and they're continuing to put pressure on the back line of the defense of Summit.
Radis sends it up ahead. And Chris McGovern trying to get there. And a penalty, I believe, coming up.
Coming up on Summit.
So give Chatham a power play opportunity. And let's see, an opportunity for them to take advantage and cut this deficit to 2.
Radice called for the penalty in the near side wing. 5:59 left to go, third period. Got to score here on the power play. I know I said that before in the last power play opportunity for Chatham, but then they took a penalty of their own 15 seconds into the man advantage.
Mahoney goes back to retreat for the Cougars. Behind the goal, he'll skate out. He starts up this Chatham power play as they bring it up, and Sharetta takes the shot. Rebound came loose away from Primack. Chatham keeps it. Now to the side of the goal, poking at it, and it's knocked down by Pushkar in front of the goal. Still a lot of pushing and shoving, and it continues as the whistle has blown.
Sharetta had that initial wrister shot that gave Primack a little trouble, and then when the puck caromed out into the near side wing, Chatham tried to force that one right through the wickets. But Primack stood his ground, did a good job there, and then it was the pushing and shoving and the poking at the puck in Primack's glove after the play that triggered the fisticuffs between both teams. Again, things getting chippy. It's the end of a state final, hotly contested between these two teams that know each other very well from last year's final. Just want to have cool, level heads for both teams the remaining 5:30 in this game.
Mahoney able to keep it in at the blue line off the faceoff. And another glove save by Nikita Primack.
35 saves now for the senior. Had 32 last season with a shutout victory, the only shutout of the state championships at Prudential Center.
Primack sticks that one aside. Played there by Nate Marshall, and it comes out of the zone, and another penalty upcoming. And this one goes against Chatham.
Well, in our first game, I think we had 3 combined penalties between the two teams in that championship final. That is not the case here, as things have started to get chippy between both sides. As, once again, Chatham will have Pierce in the penalty box, 4 skaters aside for the remaining 113 of the Summit penalty before the Hilltoppers will eventually get back on the power play.
Big check delivered on the far side by Nick Meyer, and he almost ended up over the boards into his own bench.
Chatham scored the last time it was 4-on-4 hockey. We'll see if this is to their advantage again.
Pierce getting 2 minutes for interference.
Here's an opportunity for Chatham, Lou.
Sharetta puts the brakes on. Beautiful delivery, and Primack makes a gorgeous save.
That's your save of the game if you're Nikita Primack. Ranging over, stopping the 2-on-1. And it looks like it's going to be another penalty, this time against Chatham, voicing their displeasure against the referee. So an early power play opportunity here for Summit, and Chatham has definitely lost its cool in the waning moments of this state final.
And Brian Nall goes to the penalty box.
Looks like he was trying to protest there on that last play when he was being hooked, he was saying, or interfered with from behind. And he kept at it, and the referee had enough of his jawing and sent him to the sin bin.
So Summit, 4-on-3 here.
They'll even have an opportunity, 35 seconds to go, 5-on-3.
The Hilltoppers look like they're waiting for that advantage. Now here's a shot that goes wide. Comes back, played there by Aiden Cass. Cass for the Hilltoppers just inside the blue line. Goes cross ice in front, and that was redirected by Jake Pushkar.
Summit, Lou, reminders trying to look for their 3rd power play goal of this state final. That has been a huge difference in the game.
Myers feeds it over to Pushkar. Then working hard behind the goal, Joe Galgano.
Now it's a 5-on-3 with Summit getting out of the penalty box.
Off of the stick of Aiden Cass. Cass delivers up ahead. Cross ice pass. Shot winding up. There's the rebound, shot, and score. The initial shot taken by Spencer Myers, then the rebound came out. Looks like Chris McGovern might have scored the goal. Let's double check that. And that looks like 20, which would be Chris McGovern.
And the freshman continues his amazing season coming into this one. 8 goals, 18 assists for 26 points. And McGovern scores the 3rd power play goal of the state final for Summit. And the Hilltoppers explode for 6 goals here and are well on their way to repeating as public seed champions in New Jersey.
Hilltoppers with the face-off and send it back into the Chatham end. 3.5 remaining in the 3rd period. And the Hilltoppers are enjoying a 4-goal lead.
Specialty teams always play a factor in big-time hockey games, and that's been the case.
Big hit delivered. Open ice hit by Nate Marshall on Greg Spitznagel.
And Summit's not done here, Lou. They are looking for more and more. And Chatham has to just play with composure.
Just inside 3 minutes remaining.
The Chatham side that on average allows less than 2 goals a game. This has been an un-Chatham-like performance defensively, but more of the same for Summit, a team that scores just under 5 goals a game per game.
Hilltoppers go back to play it. 2.5 remaining. Trying to feed Spitznagel at center ice. And still a lot of open ice pushes and shoves delivered by both teams.
Involving Spitznagel on the receiving and giving ends.
Now driving in is Ryan Mancino. He goes behind the goal, intercepted by the Hilltoppers. This is Pryback. He takes it in. 1:50 remaining. Tom Prymack delivers back to the blue line. Pushkar behind the goal.
What about this performance by Summit, Lou? Again, heart of a champion is strong with these Hilltoppers. 6 goals right now on 24 total shots in the game. They've got the speed, they have size. The defense has been stellar as well, and an outstanding goalie. This is a team that will be talked about for years to come, and it's no shock that they're going to be state champions for 2 consecutive seasons.
Of course, this Chatham program, a proud program, had so many great moments. They've won 5 Menin Cups, won 4 of the first 5, dating back to 1976. They played in the first ever state final. They lost to Brick Township in overtime in that game, coached by the great Hall of Famer Harvey Cohen, who started at Chatham Township in 1972. 547 wins for him, Dan. Only Bob Oriema, a brick. Imagine 656 for Bob Oriema.
And this is a nice opportunity here as Brendan Herr, the head coach of Chatham, allows Sam Rowland, his backup goalie, number 30, to come into the game and get a opportunity to step foot on ice.
And on cue, Brendan Herr has continued that great tradition here with this Chatham program.
Back-to-back appearances in the state finals and only in his 4th season. He's growing something pretty special here for the Cougars.
He's done an outstanding job.
They just ran into an offensive buzzsaw that is Summit.
Meanwhile, on the other side, Keith Nixon, in his 25th season, has this Summit program now as one of the top public school programs in the state.
Summit has had a great athletic year already. We saw them call their game at MetLife after they lost the bowl game but won a sectional football championship. Obviously, they're known throughout the state for their history in the sport of lacrosse, and now you have to see them as a big-time hockey powerhouse program as well, winning 3 state titles since 2012. And it's interesting to see Tom Prymack as a junior. Greg Spitznagel, this is a scary thought for opponents, only a sophomore.
Watch out. They'll be looking for 3 in a row next year. And that will do it. The Summit Hilltoppers win their second straight state championship, and players are getting into it, which is unfortunate at the end.
It seemed to be like a little bit of a late collision right into the back of Primac, and then one of the players for Summit did not appreciate that. The referees doing an extraordinary job of peeling off a couple of players for Chatham. We understand it's a frustrating time, but allow Summit to have their moment. They're now going to be having that moment in front of their student section, and rightly so. A 6-2 finish. What a tremendous performance here for the Summit Hilltoppers, and congratulations to head coach Keith Nixon, and congratulations to head coach Brendan Herr of Chatham. An extraordinary march to the finals here at Prudential Center, but will come up short against the best team, even though they were the 4th seed, the best team in this bracket, and clearly so, the way they just marched through the playoffs.
So the Hilltoppers win back-to-back titles, beating Chatham both times. So tough for the Cougars the last 2 championship games. But the Hilltoppers, another great year for them as they win their 20th of the season. They will finish 26-1. That's 20 wins, 6 losses, 1 tie. And Chatham will finish at 14-12-2. But, you know, Dan, as we mentioned, a great end to the season for Chatham as they really played exceptional hockey over the last month or so to get to this point.
I mean, if you're a 6th seed, Lou, you're not supposed to make it to the playoffs. You're not supposed to make it this far into the playoffs, certainly not to the Prudential Center. They went behind the play of their outstanding senior goalie, Zach Pendergrass. Congratulations to him on a great high school campaign. And they had that formula. They had no goals really allowed, had timely goal scoring, punched the ticket here to the Prudential Center. They just, each time, last season, this season, they came up against a better opponent in Summit, a team that has played well together, a team that plays up and down the ice with a ferocious offensive game, and backboned by a stellar goalie who, again, is ending his high school career here in Nikita Primac. So congratulations to both teams. Hopefully everything is cooled down. Obviously the heat of the moment and a physical contest between both sides, but this Summit team is for real, and they've now won 2 state titles in the last 2 years and have won 3 since 2012. Summit is becoming this new powerhouse program in public school New Jersey hockey.
Well, that will do it here from the Prudential Center. Congratulations to the Summit Hilltoppers. They are the 2019 Public C New Jersey state champions as they defeat the Cougars by the score of 6-2. For Dan Long, everyone here at NJ.com, thanks for joining us here from the Rock. 2 more games still to come. Once again, your final here in the Public C final. It was Summit 6, Chatham 2. The Hilltoppers are 2019 state champs.